I'll call the meeting to order. If you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you all for coming. This is our regular meeting for Monday, September 23rd, 2024. We start with roll call, please.
Benson. Here. Burnick.
Here.
Sarda. Hanoff.
Here.
Minor. Here. Mosier.
Here.
Villanueva.
Here.
Weber.
Here.
Mayor Schramm.
Here.
City Manager Leon.
Here.
City Attorney Denherter.
Here.
Before you, you have the minutes of the regular meeting of September 9th, 2024. What is the pleasure of the commission?
Move the minutes. Second.
We have a motion, a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. What would the commission like to do with the bills?
Move to pay the bills. Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any discussion on the bills? Roll call.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Burnick.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Minor.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Mayor Schramm.
Aye. Bills will be paid. Moving on to the city manager's report. Amy?
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the commission, and the public. Quite a few things for you all tonight, so if you'll have patience with me. First of all, I'm wondering if you all could pull up your calendars to look ahead at the months of November and December. November 11th would be our regular scheduled city commission meeting. We are closed that day in observance of Veterans Day, so we would request moving that meeting to the 12th. We would put that on a consent calendar for the city commission, probably at our next meeting, but I just wanted to run that past kind of everybody, and I'm seeing heads shaking yes. So that would be Tuesday as opposed to the Monday night meeting. Also, if you scroll down here and look at December, we typically do the December meeting early, the second meeting a bit early due to the holiday. So oftentimes we have people traveling that weekend before. In visiting with some staff, we were thinking to do a noon meeting on Thursday, December the 19th. Typically we have bills and we try to keep the agenda at that. So we don't necessarily need all 9 of you, but if you think that could work for that time frame.
So that would be in place of the December 23rd meeting?
Correct, correct. Anybody have no, they're going to be gone, or, okay. We'll tentatively plan for that. Of course, you'll have to set those meetings at your next city commission meeting, so our future city commission meeting, so perhaps check with your families to make sure that schedule works out. Okay. Wanted to also ask you about the amphitheater railing down at Riverside Park. We've had a couple staff people take on some of the parks projects, and this doesn't happen very often in this day and age, but we have a contractor who we believe can get started. You have money budgeted in 2025, not 2024, but I feel like if we can get the opportunity to get this project taken care of this fall, we should. Lisa said she can work her magic through a supplement in November if we're able to move forward, so I would still put that on an agenda for action, but we might have hammer swinging before them because we do have quite a few weeks now until we have a meeting. I don't think our next meeting is till like October 15th, so we have some time. So I just wanted to make sure that was all right with everyone. That's been a desired project for a long time. So
The railing was initially, I think, budgeted for $50,000. Is that still about what you expect it'll cost?
no, thank you for bringing that up, Commissioner Hanoff. We don't have an estimate yet, but they think it's going to be south of that. A very general idea is around maybe 25. So that's great. That's great. But it's an old structure, and when you start drilling into concrete, you never really know what you could run into. So I'll make sure the commission knows what the estimate is when we, of course, have it on their agenda for consideration. More opportunity for people to participate in the strategic plan, but it's not a meeting. I know you'll be disappointed about that. The public and commission is welcome to stop by the Elks. These are not meetings, they're more drop-ins to give feedback on areas of the plan. Next Monday from 5 to 7, next Tuesday, October 1st from 1 to 3, and Wednesday, October 2nd from 9 a.m. to 10:30. You can stay as long as you want, but it's not intended to be a traditional meeting. Rather, an opportunity for you to come in, look at the work that's been done, give comment, give feedback. So if you have heard from people in the community or you yourself want to have input, definitely try to stop by one of those as well. This Sunday, we have another opportunity for pancakes. We talked about that before, but pancakes with the Volunteer Fire Department will be taking place, I believe, starting at 8:30 until noon. Is that correct? Thank you, Commissioner Villanueva. Also, to let folks know, if you attended the 150th, you did not get to hear the Honorable Mayor's wonderful proclamation that he wrote so well and was going to deliver so well because of the wind and the sound system. So we're going to be doing that at a future commission meeting when it works with the fire department. Hopefully we can get some volunteers here for that as well. Staff is preparing for snow, so we're already getting our plows from the schools, which are being painted, and our Public Works and our Parks departments are taking a look at snow equipment and making sure we're ready to go. As you'll recall, we have some partnerships with the school and the county on snow removal, and we'll be pushing out information on our expectations for people when we have snow emergencies, and also when we have what our expectations are for people's snow removal on their own property. You may have seen the sales tax numbers come across your email today. Lisa sent those out today. So for the month of August, all three pennies combined, we were up 6.88%, which makes for cumulative for the year up 4.85%. I think this is probably low, and there's still some reporting in August yet to come. If you, for example, take a look at the triple B, you see that was only up 1.68%. I can't believe that's the fact when we had all the summer activities and summer events. So I would anticipate we see a bump up again, but still, you know, it's nothing. We're up in the black 4.85%. That's a good position to be in, but I think we'll be in a better position when we see September's numbers. So those are out for your review. I have a PSA on Cedar Street that came across email today, and so I want to make sure everyone knows. Wednesday, September 25th, so this Wednesday, the 3rd Street and Cedar Street intersection will be closed to all traffic. Contractor will be completing the underground utility work at the intersection. Traffic control signage will be set up to notify traffic of the closure. So that's expected to take a couple of days. And then on Thursday, the contractor will be making the storm sewer connection in the 2nd Street and Cedar Street intersection. And during that time, the traffic through that intersection will be only one lane. Stop signs on each end of the lane will be posted, and the work is anticipated to take a couple of days, 2 days there. So weather permitted, that's the plan. In both instances, travelers should find an alternate route to avoid traffic congestion and slow down and be careful. I think that that's the list I have for the commission at this time, Mayor, unless there are questions.
Well, the Cedar Street construction, how will that impact the homecoming parade? Have you had a conversation with Dr. Kindle about that?
We have had a conversation with Dr. Kindle. There is an alternative route. I'm not sure that they'll use that route or not. I think it depends upon where construction is at the time of homecoming, but there was an alternative route. We also made arrangements with the Lancer Homecoming as we knew about this, and we've been in communication with First Dakota as well, and they actually have done some promotion on their electronic signage to direct customers, trying to, I think, direct them to the north branch and avoid that area. So I think we've had good communication, and hopefully we get the street put back together and have that back open soon.
Good. Any questions for the city manager?
I don't have a question, but I want to make sure that no one is shorted breakfast or pancakes. The Facebook page says that we're going to be open till 12:30. So I want to make sure that, like I said, everybody gets their
12:30.
fill of breakfast. Yes, that's right.
I was informed today that the spare no expense, the volunteers use the sweet cream high-end pancake batter.
That was supposed to be a secret.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's not anymore.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Krusty's brand,
No, just-
sweet cream,
that's right.
something, yes.
Yeah.
And there's eggs, which apparently is an
Sausage.
accoutrement that some pancake breakfasts don't have. So I got the whole
Yeah, that's
story,
right.
except the time.
Thank you, City Manager. We'll move on to public appearances. There are no scheduled public appearances. This is a time for anyone from the public to address the City Commission on an item that is not on the agenda. Would anyone from the public like to speak? Okay. Seeing no one move, or all the head shaking no, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. There is just one item on the consent agenda. It's the Park Advisory Board's recommendation for an Eagle Scout project. Before I ask for a motion on the consent agenda, if anyone would like to hear about the project, Amy Leon, City Manager Leon, has some information on it.
Mr. Garrett Hawes, who is, I believe, junior or senior at Yankton High School, is working on his Eagle Scout project, which I can pass out his presentation that he gave to the Parks Advisory Board on Monday. Mr. Hawes is working on a project at the hockey rink, Sertoma Park. His older brother was the Eagle Scout who put together the warming shelter, and he's working on some benches, which will be available for folks to either rest or watch. And he has indicated that the flooring surfaces will be skate-friendly. He's got a budget together. He has spoke with our Parks Department. He is raising money. He doesn't need anything from us except for some coordination with our park shop, as well as approval to move ahead. On last Monday evening, I'll pass this down each way. He met with us at the Parks Advisory Board, and he intends to get moving on the project as soon as possible so it can be ready, hopefully, for a cold winter season this year. And we typically there's a portion, I believe, of the approval process that he goes through for Scouts where he has to have it approved by the governing body. So I think the Parks Board suffices for that, but I put it on consent calendar anyway to cover all our bases. They recommended approval. Commissioner Hunhoff was there as well, and so he's reviewed the project.
On the consent item agenda, on the consent item agenda, all those in favor of approving the item, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay. Consent.
Did we have a motion?
Well, sure, why not?
I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Consent item agenda moves. Moving on to the old business. Item number 1 is consideration of memorandum 24-197, which is the second reading and public hearing to consider ordinance 1083, which is an ordinance to appropriate monies for defraying the necessary expenses and liabilities for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025. And this also provides the levy of annual taxes for all funds created by ordinance within said city. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the city commissioners? Mike? Nope, okay.
Oh, sorry.
Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Hunoff.
Aye.
Minor.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Mayor Schramm.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item 2, consideration of memorandum 24-198 requesting the transfer ownership of a retail on-off sale malt beverage in South Dakota farm wine license from DBC LLC, Lauren Sokup owner, to Nino Ventures LLC, Francisco Nino owner, DBA Bro Burger Bar, 2101 Broadway. This alcohol license is not endorsed with Video Lottery. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Brunick,
Aye.
Hanoff,
Aye.
Minor,
Aye.
Mosier,
Aye.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. That concludes old business. We'll move on to the new business section of the agenda. Item 1 is consideration of memorandum 24-196, the recommendation from the Health Insurance Committee for the City of Yankton's employees 2025 group health insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, life insurance, EAP coverage, flex spending, and employee wellness program. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion or motion and a second. Any discussion from the commission?
I would just say whoever's negotiating for us is doing a good job, because that's a lot lower than the county rates we've been able to find.
We had we have an insurance committee, for those who aren't aware. It's representatives from both of our contracted labor unions and non-labor union folks. And we actually had a really healthy year. We came in already at a good rate, and then the committee, under the direction of Brittany Orr, and with the consulting of our broker, said, Vera can do a little better than that, probably asked them, and they could. So we're really happy with that. And we're really happy that our wellness program may be paying off some benefits, because we're by and large healthy. Of course, it's a group, but by and large healthy. We also are a little younger of a group. Now, I don't know if that makes any difference or not, but probably a little bit. So yes, we're happy with the rate that was negotiated. That's not going to happen every year.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the city commission? Anyone from the public? Okay, roll call.
Hanoff,
Aye.
Minor,
Aye.
Mosier,
I'll abstain. Husband is a city employee.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item 2, consideration of memorandum 24-199, requesting a public fireworks display on December 5th, 2024. The fireworks will be launched from the top level of the Meridian Bridge, coinciding with the Holiday Festive Lights tree lighting. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Minor,
Aye.
Mosier,
Aye.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Hanoff,
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. Number 3 is consideration of memorandum 24-200, which is an introduction, first reading, and establish October 15th, 2024 as the date for a public hearing to consider ordinance 1084, which is a rezoning ordinance from A1 agriculture to R3, two-family residential. This land is owned by Yankton Thrive, Inc. What is, excuse me.
Introduced.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item number 4, consideration of memorandum 24-202, authorizing the purchase of body cameras and software from Motorola Solutions in the amount of $81,501 for the Yankton Police Department Patrol Division. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion from the city commission? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Mosier,
Aye.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Hanoff,
Aye.
Minor,
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. Item 5, it's consideration of memorandum 24-203 regarding resolution 24-43, amending the annual proofs of payment developer submittal date for the Event Central sales tax reimbursement. What is the pleasure of the commission?
Move to amend.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the commission?
I have just a question, I guess, in reading through this, and I don't know if it's Ross or Lisa. Any implications or issues as far as city accounting or anything there, pushing that back a couple of months, or will that mess up anything that we do?
I don't see any issues with that. the original deadline of January 20th was not feasible with just the sales tax deadlines required by the state of South Dakota. So you have to submit your December sales tax by January 20th, and the owner was a little concerned about getting those tax forms from those businesses in time to meet our deadline. So a lot of it's just more clerical.
Good question. Any other discussion from the city commission? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Villanueva?
Aye.
Weber?
Aye.
Benson?
Aye.
Brunick?
Aye.
Hunoff?
Aye.
Minor?
Aye.
Mosier?
Aye.
Mayor Schram?
Aye, motion carries. Kyle already moved, so we know there's discussion coming up. Item 6, consideration of memorandum 24-201, recommending that the city commission authorize the city manager to execute the attached CMAR contract amendment with a guaranteed maximum price of $45,929,602 and owner's contingency of $1,102,200. Maybe before we do any sort of motion, want to hear from Kyle about this?
Thank you. Good evening, Commission, Honorable Mayor. I'll start with some introductions. I think most of you know Tanner Hansen. He's our wastewater plant superintendent. So he's been main player in this, working with the contractor and with the engineer. We have Todd Mergen with HDR. Todd was the on-site construction manager for HDR on the water plant. He'll also be on-site for this project. He's also taken a larger leadership role with HDR. He's oversees their construction management team for HDR in this region, so it's good that we can keep him on the project. And then we have Tim Vanderzand with John T. Jones. He was project manager for us on the water plant. Same thing, he's kind of taken a larger leadership role within John T. Jones, and he'll be our project manager on the wastewater treatment plant improvements. So we're all here to answer any questions you guys have, or would you like me to explain a little bit more where we got to where we're at? Yeah. Again, this is our first CMAR project with the city, so it's a little different way of doing business versus a conventional design it, bid it, build it. So again, we have our funding in place, which includes ARPA funds. We have the rates in place for that funding. We have our contract with HDR for the entirety of the project. We have our original contract with John T. Jones, including the pre-construction work that they did. And now we're kind of into that phase where we have all of our bids in, and we need to amend the contract to include that guaranteed maximum price. So right now we have that guaranteed maximum price at roughly $45,929,000. And then separate from that, but included in this contract, is our owner's contingency of $1.1 million. So that brings the total contract price to roughly $47 million for the entire project. That $45 million does include, on the guaranteed maximum price, several contingencies within the project for risk registry, the CMARS contingency, and a few of those things. So where we're at today is we can reduce that guaranteed maximum price if we would wait maybe a little bit, but we're also in that time frame where we need to get some of our equipment under contract, especially the AGS. The aerated granular sludge continues to go up in price almost every day. So we want to get that under contract. So we feel right now with the contingencies where we've got them and where we're at with the guaranteed maximum price, we think now would be the right time to get that guaranteed maximum price contract set in stone and start moving forward with getting equipment ordered. Hopefully have the contractor on site middle of October and start moving some dirt. So, questions?
Kyle, on this, I would assume they're the ones that put together this really detailed calendar that's in the packet. I love looking at that. It's very linear and easy to read. But so when I got a couple questions, I guess, and that maybe my blonde will come out here in a little bit. But when we say guaranteed maximum price, I still get a little nervous because with an old building and things like that, once we go in, when we say guaranteed maximum price, it's not nobody's gonna come to us later on with a change order saying, oops, we dug in and now found this and it's going to cost this or anything like that. Does that cover this? And then the schedule that's in here for the layman's eye like mine, does this get everything done in looking at this linear schedule in time for all the funds that we're receiving?
So I'll start with the schedule. Schedule is about a 3-year project. I believe ARPA funds have to be spent by 2026, but we're allowed to front load our contract. So we should not have any issue as long as we get moving yet this fall, getting those ARPA funds spent. SRF funds we're okay on. In terms of, yeah, so we're fine on that. What was the other part of the question again?
Okay, because when I looked at the schedule, 2027's on here, and I knew that 2026 is the big deal. So that's getting all of that complete by then. Okay, my second question was the blonde question on guaranteed maximum price tells me it will not go above that no matter what they find when they dig in.
I will never guarantee that. So we have contingencies built into the price that we hope will address the change orders and anything that would come up. Again, if something really crazy would happen, we could potentially have to come back. The idea behind this is the 1.1 million in orders contingency that we would not come back with change orders with you guys. That's considered part of the contract price. If any large things would come up that would put that in jeopardy, then we would be coming back to the commission to notify you that, hey, we've ran into something that nobody expected that is much larger than what we expected. But we have sat down with the contractor and we have a risk registry of things that we think could come up. High water table, what would it cost to dewater? That's in that contingency. We had some contracts on the bids where the bids came in and we're having a hard time getting that contractor to honor that bid or to get a number tied down. So we went with the bid price and then we added a contingency for the difference of what would be the worst case scenario. So that's some of those areas where we built that contingency in. So the answer is hopefully no, but I would not, again, it is a wastewater treatment plant facility, and that's why one of the things I said is, for budgeting wise, assume that we are going to spend all the contingency. There's just a lot of unknowns when you get into older structures. When you get into a retrofit, it's always hard to know when to stop your project. Where do you stop adding pipe? Where do you stop replacing something? So you're always going to maybe find some things. Again, we've identified those areas. We've hoped we put that in the contingency, but again, I won't guarantee that. But if we do have anything major, we will come back to the commission for those things.
Kyle, I have two questions that I got today as well that I'd like to ask. The first would be, in your memo, you say that, we may need more money to complete this project, so that we're already over budget. So that's question one. Question two might be for you and might be for Tanner, but there's confusion, although I know you can make it happen, but I didn't know how to answer the question. How do we keep the plant running while everything's all torn up? Like, how is that going to work?
So I'll start with the funding. In terms of funding, we have spoke with South Dakota DA&R, Department of Agriculture and Natural Resources, our funding source. Their suggestion was if we do need additional funds, to wait, see where we come out with our contingency and come back for funding at that time. Regardless, there won't be grant funding available. It'll all be SRF loan. So that is an option if we need it as we get through the project. And it's a 3-year project, so we have time for some of those numbers to play out. In terms of sequencing and scheduling, that's where it's been critical for Tanner and Greg Gus and the other staff at the wastewater plant to work directly with Tim and Todd with HDR and John T. Jones to develop a schedule that allows for that sequencing, because we will keep the plant functional throughout the process. We'll have some bypass. We won't have a lot of bypass pumping on this one, but a lot of that was taken care of in this original project. But yeah, that's one of the things we have to work with is sequencing the project, and that's where the Seymour process is really nice to have that contractor involved through the design phase to help with that sequencing and scheduling.
So our citizens won't see any difference in service,
they should not notice
barring
anything.
a March 19th or a
Right. And
whatever.
again, I'll never
13th.
guarantee anything, but again, our plans are to be able to have that sequencing and keep the plant functional throughout the project. That's our goal.
Thanks.
Does it include Tanner in a kayak? Okay.
You never know.
I'm hoping not either, Tanner. I just wanted to
That
check.
piece of equipment will be gone, so.
Any other questions for Kyle from the commission? Thank you guys, you and everyone that's on the staff and team that has worked on this. It's a huge undertaking. And so 5 years down the road, or 4 years down the road, or 3 years down the road, hopefully, we'll be laughing about all the fun things that happened, right? So we need a motion on this. What's the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the commission? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Weber,
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Minor.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 7, consideration of memorandum 24-204 recommending that the city commission appoint Mr. Tyler Lohr as a deputy city attorney and update other aspects of the city attorney contract. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Actually, Ross, if you don't mind just introducing Tyler a little bit.
Yeah, Commission, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Tyler Lohr. He's our firm's newest attorney. He was sworn in by the Honorable David Knopf, who used to sit up on this dais with all of you. He is the city's newest attorney. So if you see him about, please give him a warm welcome and congratulations. And I think you ought to make him sweat and introduce himself up at the
I was just going to ask for that. I think he needs to go to the podium. You can go to the podium right next to you, too.
There's a little button on the
Front,
Off to a good start there, Tyler.
in the front of the mic, there's a little gray button you can tap on
It's
the base.
on this side. You can see it right at the base. On the stick. There you go. There you go. You're on.
Yeah, I'm not smarter than this microphone. I'm Tyler Lohr. I'm from Northwest Iowa. I graduated from Buena Vista University in Storm Lake, Iowa in 2021. I just graduated law school from USD in May. I just took the bar exam, and as Ross stated, I was sworn in by Judge Knopf today. So, yep.
First day of the rest of your life. So yes, I would ask for your blessing to add him to the list of attorneys that can represent the city under my direction as an official deputy in this role. The request before you too also includes a couple contractual items. For the last few years in my annual review, the commission has been gracious in allowing me to send myself or one of my staff to the annual IMLA educational conference every year. It's nuts and bolts municipal law, and it's also kind of new and cutting edge issues facing municipalities, and it is extremely helpful as a city attorney. And what I'm doing with this request here is just committing that regular expenditure to send us to education to the city attorney's contract. And the other item before you is an increase to the hourly rate that we charge for the litigation-related matters that our office provides the city, and matters that are negotiated by our office that may result in litigation. So it's a small percentage of the items we do for the city, but it's still at a reduced rate. It just hasn't been increased since 2010. So just it bumps it up a little bit, but it's still about $50 per hour less than market rate.
Any questions for us? Or any discussion from the commission? I believe, Lisa, we have a motion and a second, correct? Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Benson. Aye. Brunick.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Minor.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. Welcome, Tyler. Thank you. All right. That concludes our new business section. Moving on to other business, would anyone from the commission like to bring up any items to the rest of the commission? Nope. Okay. No other business items. At this moment, we would like to adjourn into executive session. These are meetings that are closed and would discuss, in this case, personnel matters. Ask for a motion to adjourn into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. We are adjourned to executive session. Thank you all.